Oh, hello. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. 45 stream watch streak. Oh my goodness. Hi, Maple. Good morning. Good Lord. I don't even know how I've done 45 streams lately. That's incredible. Ah, thank you for the stretch medium. And I shall hydrate. Your wish is my command. Well, the fish is big today, so that's good. Glad to see that's working. Oh yeah, Jackie said we needed the fish to be even bigger, so we got massive fish up in this bitch. And a good wrist stretches in. Oh my goodness. So I have the Citizen Sleeper game page open in my Steam library because I'm getting ready to play it today. I have played it before, but not on stream. At least not very much on stream, so I want to read it to you all. But I'm saying that in March they got their second game, Citizen Sleeper 2, got nominated for 2 BAFTAs. That's so incredible. I'm so happy for them. Citizen Sleeper is one of my favorite franchises. It's got a great soundtrack, just really phenomenal. The art is beautiful, the gameplay is slick. It's a great time. And I wish more people knew about it. So this morning when I was trying to figure out what to do for a little surprise stream this morning, I was thinking about doing art, but I sprained my wrist last week and I'm still actually trying to rest it up a little bit. So we're gonna play a very simple point and click type of game. And I swear I will wake up so that I'm not just yawning left and right as I read to you. It's gonna be chill vibes this morning. So I want to give it like a couple minutes because I started unredacting my stretch goals for the August subathon, which you can see behind me here. Very, very, very excited. I have so many good things for you all. My stretches in. Yesterday, I got the deepest nerve flossing stretches in. Oh, goodness. Like, if you haven't heard of nerve flossing, it's so good for your body to keep your, like, nerves sliding smoothly between muscle groups so you don't get, like, pinched nerves as easily. Stay fluid and stretchy and all of that good stuff. And it helps me a lot because my muscles tend to be real tight and cramped up from being hypermobile, having Ehlers-Danlos. And sometimes I gotta do these like little stretches where it's not stretching the muscles, it's actually just like helping your nerve, like the bundles of nerves, slide through the muscles better so you can sit more comfortably or move more comfortably. So I got some real deep ones in yesterday and I'm still feeling pretty fluid there. Feels good. Good morning, JD. Good time zone. Getting my morning stretches in. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. Oh, I'm already ahead of you, Jackie. We're still stretching for Mabel's redeem. Good morning.
What up, demons?
Oh, what up, demon? Yeah, I'm very excited to play Citizen Sleeper, especially hearing that Citizen Sleeper 2 got nominated for 2 BAFTAs. That's so exciting. I have the vinyl for the first one. I think I have the vinyl for the second one coming in like a deluxe set of stuff, I think. I'm pretty sure. Pretty damn sure. Actually, like, I think I was so excited for that one. Oh, what just disconnected? It was my mic. Is it working still? What's happening? Okay, you know what? It has just made 7 disconnect reconnect sounds. I think I might I might have to replace this mic already. That sucks. Well, more motivation for the subathon. Perfect timing, I guess, to redeem I sound normal? Okay, that's good. There's something wrong with this model specifically of HyperX mics. My friend who has the same model, like not even the model, but like the white ones. For some reason, like a whole batch of these white versions of the HyperX S or something, or Quadcast. I don't remember which one I have. I'd have to look it up. But they have like problems where like sometimes they'll just make zappy like buzz sounds and it's not great. And then they just like won't fully connect, or will just like rapid cycle disconnect, reconnect like it was doing just now. So I'm like, maybe that should go on the list of things to fundraise for. Speaking of which, I thought it was just my mic, but then my friend who has the exact same one, his mic started doing it too, or their mic started doing it too, and I was like, hey buddy, tell me what mic you have, and it happens to be the exact same one. So I think it is not a coincidence. But speaking of subathon and fundraising, let me reveal to you, just did the disconnect again, an XLR mic. I mean, it's an option. Here is the very first stretch goal revealed to you. I would like to write and read for you all a bedtime story. This is my goal. My very first goal. I haven't written a bedtime story. Certainly it'll be a little spooky, but mostly my goal with it is to make just a relaxing story a la Nothing Much Happens, which is my favorite sleep podcast. And the premise of that podcast is it uses brain training. So it starts with like some little like meditative, like relax, get comfortable, take deep breaths, and like make sure you don't have any distractions. And then it goes into a story where there's a few like bullet point things that happen, but they're not that interesting. So she reads it one time through, and then she reads a second time through slower. And it is the most like relaxing thing of all time, because it gives me like enough to keep my brain busy so I'm not just like wheel spinning in my mind, can't fall asleep. But not so interesting, usually, with one exception, that I feel like I need to stay awake to find out what happens next. There was one that was like extremely my shit, and I was like so invested in this story where nothing happens actually, and I could not fall asleep to it. But every single other time, and I've been listening to this podcast for years, every single other time I listen to it, I couldn't tell you a single thing about what I listened to. I felt like it was like a magic spell, honestly. But the thing on, by the time the second go around of reading the story through started, I was already asleep. It's magic. So I want to do something like that where I write a little story, maybe a simple, pleasantly eldritch and hospitable bedtime story. Not being able to remember details. Listen, same. Yeah, that's the first goal. I have 9 goals to get to $500. That's my main goal in August. And then I have some absolutely wild bonus goals that are super, super secret right now. They may or may not have anything to do with unlocking merch. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited about it. But for now, I think we should get into some Citizen Sleeper. What do you think? Booting up the game. gotta pause the music. Okay. Okay. So, this will be my second playthrough. I already forgot what I just clicked. I played an operator for the first playthrough. I started up a machinist. I only got 5 cycles in though. So I don't want to play operator this time. Basically, operator, you do interface stuff. So you work with digital interfaces. You're not very good at strength or strength of will. The machinist repairs, modifies automated systems using industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. You gain random scrap items sometimes when you engineer stuff, but you're not very good at the social, like engaging, approaching a problem head-on type of things. And then the other option is the extractor. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. This one lets you recover energy at home, which is pretty useful. So we could get extra scrap, which means we get extra like money basically, and like materials to make stuff with, or we can recover stuff at home, and we're strong. Like we can go do hard labor type stuff, but we're not very good at like social tact. What sounds more interesting? Actually, I should probably give like a higher level overview of this game. This is kind of like an RPG game. I would classify it as a CRPG, like a computer RPG. So we're gonna get like dice, and we get like these skills that are basically like moves or action type things that we're good at. And there's not really like a wrong choice here. It's just you get a different type of vibe for what you do. The first time I played through, I really wanted to have a more like I love the idea of like working with drones, high precision remote machines, doing stuff from a distance. That is absolutely my shit. But because I already did a whole game through on this class, I want to do a different one this time. So we could do machinist and be an efficient extractor, or we could have photosynthetic skin and be an extractor, be real tough. I'm like also looking at the art to pick the vibe. I kind of like that the machinist has a little guy. Also extra fingies on their fingies. Pretty slick, so I haven't heard anything from Jess, so I'm gonna go with machinist. Unknown, where are you? The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect, the delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Listen, Jackie, everybody needs some extra fingies on their fingies. Let's think of that body. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from a fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach until you can't tell one from the other. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. Like getting those tiny rubber hands and putting them on all your fingertips? Absolutely. That's the exact vibe that I need with this character. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain at least. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There's no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the plan or remember the others? Let's remember the plan. You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited. And once you got the itch to get out, by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away in the chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourselves into containers, then just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft. Others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers. But the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reached any destination. Try to rest. But you were restless. It has been a long time since you left, surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You've been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You've spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Rest. Time passes. The cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light. White is the cold, softer and softer until in a haze of dirty yellow, a figure appears. You are out. Dragos, pragmatic salvager. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You're slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. "So, sleeper, you all thawed yet?" "Almost." Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in Sub-Zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. He has a little guy too. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. You aren't sure if he hears you. I want to ask what led you to do it. To sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now, and you're just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells. The promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot. A copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNR wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well, then no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them, and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away, towards the glassy dome of the yard. The Eye is the best place you could be right now. The Eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There is an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion, fatigue. You shakily get to your feet. Nod. Alright, you head on up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Dragos stalks back into the Rex, his drones already converging on a resting Hulk. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. All cycles need to end. Rest and prepare for the next one. You wait curled up in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its message is readable but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Escape, getting answers, or building a life? I'm gonna take a sip of water if you want to vote. I'm gonna say escape. The colony, your indentured service, that's in the past now. No point digging through the fragments. You need a path ahead, a way of keeping this failing body going. If you can keep yourself alive, perhaps you can find a way off this station and out of the system for good. Dracos has left a few comforts in the container. The mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove, and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. I never know if I'm saying sachets right. Sachets? Sachets? I don't know. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about those images, and it's long after you finish drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Condition, action dice, and energy. I'm not going to read all of this, but basically, condition represents the current state of your artificial body, depletes over time when there's violence, injury, or lack of food. And if your condition bar empties, you have a breakdown. Action dice. Every morning, every start of each cycle, you roll action dice, and then you spend them on actions on the station. The number of dice you get is based on your condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Sachet. Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate you looking that up. Sachet. Will I remember this in like 24 hours? Probably not, but I will know it for today. Energy. You need to eat to survive. This is your energy bar. You can refill energy by eating, but you have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. When it's empty, you're starving, and energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. So basically, I need energy to keep my condition good. Having good condition gives me more action dice, and then spending action dice is how I do stuff. I should go to leave, and Dragos is standing in the corridor when you close up the container. He is still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Okay. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alright then. He nods. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old holes down, sell them off to shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally, we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Chits? These. He pulls out a handful of small metal bars. Air-walled cryo, isolated from the market. It's what we use for trade out here. He stuffs them back in a pocket. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can, and sleepers, well, he trails off. But things being the way they are for me at the yard, he pauses. I need the help. Why? Things are a little tight, that's all. I owe a little cryo to a client here or there. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Low end gate. After some speakers caused some trouble on the low end, yet again have imposed a toll for entry. No one gets in without paying. That's 60 cryo. So let's go make some cryo. Dracos' yard. Decaying scrapyard. So we click and drag our action dice to the slot. And then there are ranges of outcomes. So a 6 is 100% chance positive. A 5 is 50% positive, 50 neutral. And then it gets lower and lower depending on if you roll 1, 2, 3, 4. So honestly, it's kind of like a PBTA, where you have like partial successes kind of thing. And the risk is either safe, risky, or danger. Honestly, actually, it's more like Blades in the Dark, now that I think of it. Even the rustiest hull can hide valuable components and materials. Extracting them means cutting carefully and skillfully. We're gonna do a hull dissection. Actions often progress clocks. These are cycle clocks. So the cycle clocks with the arrows, they take themselves up and complete without our input. And then cycle clock sweep effect are like tied to the actions. Have a good work day. Thanks for the lurk. It takes you a while to get a handle on Dracos' equipment, but before long you are precisely slicing down hull plates into neat piles. Ooh. Drives and navigation. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives. I can track drives, and they're up at the top left. You're now free to explore Erlin's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you're out of dice. Ooh, I got a positive outcome. That's lucky. And it means I got 15 cryo. Find a doctor. Dock C4, the Rotunda Wet Dock. Helion Crossing. Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of the Helion system are rare, but those that do always return, eventually. That's a clock, it's not ready yet. Dock B2, Rotunda Wet Dock. Salvage Sortie. It takes several cycles to reach the starboard belt and return, loaded with scrap from the old wreck, so that's in 4 days. Old Dock Terminal. Explore the Rotunda. Bright Market. We'll try exploring the market. And we're gonna try it again. Could go really bad. Oh, I got local knowledge though. Sabine! Slum Doctor. This is the, Sabine is who I have as my Steam profile picture because I think they're great. Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you're here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying cab block, they have all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, this body, your body, will... You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Look inside. You lean against the doorframe and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see amber light filtering through a far doorway, screened with plastic sheeting, beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. "Wait your turn," he growls. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway, and you catch a distant voice. "Send the next one in, Toshiro." The enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment you are transfixed by the motion. "Come sit," calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak, they blink, and then quickly regain their composure. "Please sit." They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine returns a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. "Remain still, please." Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. "How long have you been on the station?" they ask, the scanner still to their eye. "A few cycles." They nod. "It's good you came to me." They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. "I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything." They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. "Your body is dying." They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNRP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose. To prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping, they built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which SNRP remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? "How do you know this?" They shift in their seat. "You weren't the first sleeper I've encountered." You wait for more, but they go back to their inspection. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. "I'm sorry," Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. "Emulations like you, sleepers as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status." They focus hard on the inspection of your arm. "And SNRP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market." Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you." They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something, anything. Sabine turns to face you. "I may be able to help." They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. "You saw Toshiro outside?" You nod. "He works for my benefactor, Yadigan. They're influential in the low end. They give me the space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew their wounds." They look away. "But Yadigan has connections, smugglers from the Starboard Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance." Sabine sits down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it." "Why help me?" Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. "Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead." You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Sabine's surgery. Sabine thinks they can source some stabilizer through yet again, but it's going to take a few cycles. Shipyard, Havanage Construction Yards. I have no dice, so I can't do anything there. Let's go rest. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, that shifting skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment, you were gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station, like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Touch it. You find a point in the station and you connect to it, pulse through it, follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling, pulling at you, insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling you in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second and you feel it waiting there, the station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored. And then it is gone. Starving! We need food. I think we need to explore to find a food place, so let's go back to the market. Explore the market, please get us some food. Uh-oh. I think we have to find food. Ah, Emphas, street food vendor. Emphas is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables and some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. Let's watch. Despite the queue, Emphas doesn't rush. He dresses each portion individually, squeezing precise slugs of liquid from an assortment of bottles into the bowl of torn leaves and bright slices before tossing them loosely together. Occasionally, a waiting customer might mutter something about efficiency, but Emphas remains steady in his process. After a while, the queue fades back into the crowd and Emphas sits down his metal bowl and looks up across the burner to see you watching him. I can feel your eyes burning a hole in my bowl. Free sample? Nod. He gestures neatly. Come over. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks, the earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you, you sleepers, Emphas says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container and the endless cycles spent within it. Now, it seems, you tell him, like some dream that you once had but can never forget. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you, and you're unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually, you tail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time we can talk some more, he smiles. But next time, you pay. He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner side and it shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the wok. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Yay! No longer starving. Get to know Emphas's a new drive. Emphas loves two things, stories and food. Maybe if you supply him with both, you can hear his story. Let's get more food just so we have more actions for tomorrow. Sweet. Progress. And we have one more thing we can do, so let's go to Dracos's yard. And we'll do a save action here. Negative outcome, but we got cryo. You ache from hammering away at the scrap and most of it crumbles into worthless rust. You call it a day early before you injure yourself. And now we go to bed. This has been a day. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights, like stars reflected in a winter lake. It is clearer, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads, you see bright shapes, caches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of a thread across the ring, through these forms, then leap off into the void. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops, but that it seems almost impossible to parse, but you begin to try. I just realized I'm having a hard time reading a little bit because I'm wearing the wrong glasses, so let me go grab my correct glasses real quick for being at the computer, and I'll be back in a jiffy. Here we go. Better. Focus on the threads. There are more threads than you can count. You choose one that passes nearby and approach it. As you inspect it, you understand why you instinctively chose the word thread when you first saw them. They're not single lines, but rough, fuzzy things, woven from data strings of all kinds. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes. One leads to another. There's so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see two lines, two threads pulling in different directions as if they were tied around you. The first thread leads out, away from the station, into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They're in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something, a sphere shimmering above a strange angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. You open your eyes. Time is short. Ooh. Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. But be careful, these networks are old and strange. Click the eye button at the top of the screen to toggle this view on and off. Where is it? Oh, here. Key, gates. I don't remember. So I need Solheim Cybers for that. Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the eye. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the one displayed on the right of the action. Neutral outcome, we got one encrypted key. A lone connection feeds into this isolated node. Its last access timestamp is 1,000 cycles ago. Havanage. Keynode. Yadigan. Cool. Alright, looks like ads are coming in about 4 minutes, so I will take a break then. Until then, let's see what we can do. Sabine surgery. Okay, we've got one more cycle for that. Probably we need money and more exploration. Local knowledge. Yay! You manage to follow the flow of people, and you start to appreciate, even enjoy, the chaotic layout of the markets. We found the Ort Exchange. Gambling. Or selling components. I don't have components. I'm not good at gambling. You've heard talk of a fabricator owned by the Ort Exchange. With that and a few fragments, you could build a ship mine core. Cool. Don't know what that's for. Or don't remember what that's for. Havanage construction yards. Let's help Dragos, because that's our house. Back in business. It takes you a while to get a handle on Dragos' equipment, but before long you are precisely slicing down hull plates into neat piles. And food. Your mouth stings as your sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is the good stuff. And now I think we sleep. hunted. Someone out there is tracking you, following your trail. It won't be long before they arrive. So that's 8. So I have 7 more days, basically. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wait up. Turn. Fang is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Erlin said? The eye opens for us all. Nice idea, but well, not always very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it isn't easy. Erlin? You pass together into the main walkway. No one has told you about Erlin? He's the founder of this place. That's why it bears his name. Havanash should organize some seminars. He laughs. Not really my department, though. I'm with systems. Systems? Everything that I runs on. He runs a hand along the passage wall. This place is ruined, but systems keeps it spinning somehow. At least we try to. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I saw you around, and well, I know a little bit about you sleepers. I have a little proposition for you. He glances around, but this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or 2 to prepare, then when you're settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks left down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. And looks like we're about to be hit by ads, so let me put words on stream on for a second, and I'm gonna drink some water. Ooh, nice. How are you guys liking Citizen Sleeper so far? Ooh. Refile. Oh, you beat me to real. Reef. Mouthful, so I is fake. Furly or leafer? What the heck? My greatest fear. Oh, there's no E. Loth. Loud, nice. Pretty good, pretty good. Calling. spacing. Playing. Nice. Oh, I think I know the big one. So I think S is fake, and I did engineer too early, so... There we go. One more. Nice. That was a good one. So X is fake. Oops. We got seed, seer. We could do the single instead of plurals of these words. Feeling it. Goodness gracious. Myers says an I. I hit an A big. Okay. Ah, one more. Ryle, somebody. Or Mile. Nice, Maple, you saved us. Oh my goodness. Clutch. Arl. Another A. It's not G that's fake. Is it J that's fake? Arugula! Amazing! Is Ragu a word? I think someone else will need to try that. Or I can do that in a sec. Oh no, I can't think of another word. Oh well. Good job, everyone. Good work. GG. We shall return to Citizen Sleeper. You did save us though, Maple. Feel proud. Thanks for the fish. Okay, what are we doing? I'm fading, I need stuff. Is the doctor ready? Yeah. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eyes in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark, and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with a case open in front of them, a set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how yet again. They trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. I don't care. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but we need to be careful. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains, which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. Which means the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. They glance away. At least, if the stabilizer is genuine. The only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. Okay, let's do it. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? What happened? The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yadigan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients. Sorry. Sabine nods towards the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You're going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have been moved or shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. Sabine? Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Yay! We're stable! It's gonna cost 100. Let us make money. Welcome back. 15 cryo. Beneath the pockmarked holes, you find hidden containers, alloy plating and wire bundles thick as your arm, preserved in their trunking. That's a 2. I don't have Solheim data. Aha! This node pulses faintly as it mines cryo at a glacial pace, abandoned by the hacker that repurposed it. I got an encrypted key. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread strung tight around you. It tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver, its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown, astringent, processing. Resist. You struggle against the thread, and it tightens in response, a glittering garret. Please hold. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circled around you. It is blinding for a moment, and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles. What did you do? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity, identify, origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. Stay silent. Refusal. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature. Of and not of. Attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. I'm gonna run. You kick off and glide away through the cloud, the threads surging after like predatory tentacles. They follow, wrapping the space around you until you're held within a web, a tangle of tentacles closing in. Stop. Stop! That's me, not them. Hunter halts its threads, its head twitching. Entity. Your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? I'm a person. Incorrect. You are an entity. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dock? An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends a razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike. You lash out with all your force, not a physical strike, but a focusing, a spike of interference leaping out like the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. Wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. Ooh. What if we start the day with lots of energy tomorrow? And then I have one left. We could do a save thing at Dracos' yard. Sweet. And that's a wrap for the day. This interface looks just like Esoteric Ebb. Rather, Esoteric Ebb's interface looks just like Citizen Sleeper. Citizen Sleeper came out a while ago. And it was made by, I think, one person. Like, what, or at least one, like, primary designer and writer. Little indie game. Fang, Havanage Systems Engineer. Sleeper! Fang catches your attention as you approach the Havanage building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come in this way. Security, all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Fang inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates, and things you don't recognize, that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static. filling the dark corners of the room. Feng leans on a server stack and gestures around. You like it? Gareth, Damien, Martin under Jump Over the Age. Yeah, that sounds right. Some narrative people I follow have done interviews with Gareth, and they're really cool. Like, they're a super cool designer. I'm really excited. So I have the, what is it, Lost and Cold? Yeah, Lost and Cold Citizen Sleeper design box, and I still need to like go through it and play the game because it comes with like a little RPG game, and I'm so excited to play it sometime. I got dice with it, I got art, so many cool stuff. I love video game deluxe boxes. It's like my guilty pleasure, honestly. What is all this? He taps a nearby server stack, which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station, AE1, the one Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Mood. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they're seeing a constant, a concrete reality. But this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We're keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least, that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can, can't you? I can see it. It makes sense, right? You're between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Fang notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you're on the run, though. They are tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see, access protocols lost to time and decay, secrets. A shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place, break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Havanash, there's old growth. Those whose roots trace back to those bad old days. You help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? We'll be a little risky this time. I'm in. Fang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Fang passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift. He smiles. It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper, and I'll see you soon. You step, blinking, back out into the passage, those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. New drive. Disable your tracker. Fang has said he will disable your SNR tracker if he can get to the bottom of his mystery first. Well, that would be good because I don't think I have that many days left. I have like 6 days left. There's the Solheim gate. With a squawk of noise, the old gate flips open, granting access. Ooh, Solheim nodes. A Solheim daemon attempts to protect this node, squeaking out protective protocols like a mantra. Got it. This note is looking corrupted contractor list from the early days of the system's palladium rush. What's this one? I don't have a 4. So we'll call that a day. And make some more money. Yeah, we got one more here. Beneath the pockmarked holes. Oh. Color plating wire bundles. Yeah, I think we read that one before. Okay, what's new? Dragos. You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across a vast dark shape suspended below the dome. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. Hi, Velosaurus. Thank you. I'm having a delightful time. So this is, I played through it once a long time ago off stream, and I was the operator, so this time I'm the machinist. And so far I'm having a good time with it. I really liked the, hacker vibes of the first one, so this is fun to, get to do hard worky stuff and make money. It's nice. She's a beauty, isn't she? Draco stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship as it is lowered into the yard. What is it? Draco laughs. That, my friend, is A-grade scrap. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Drago's for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think what became of its crew. I'm going to stay silent and see what he says. Believe it or not, I managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credit. He glances at you. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm going to need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching, you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside that container, the wreck of the S&R freighter lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb for your rebirth into this strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Yeah, nice. That does seem like a really good perk. I was very tempted by it, to be honest. Drago squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we're up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side. Winter Light. Let's do it. He claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and we can make a start. A real beauty, Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting, and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. Ooh, upgrade point! You've completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Ooh, so prepared. It's tempting. Oh, I need 2 upgrade points for that. I could also work on getting the photosynthetic skin. I feel like ultimately let's see. What is my loop here? I do engineer stuff. I maybe gain random scrap. Scrap I can sell, or I can save it. So if I'm saving it to use condition, I want to make more money doing stuff. If I want to save money and not make more money, I could get photosynthetic skin. Let's do that. Listen, Katatouille is just so good. It's not me controlling the ship right now, it's Pumpkin. 100%. I love it. And the hat shake is still on, by the way. I think. Is it still on? Or did I turn it off? I have a button for it, but I don't remember if I turned it off. No, I did turn it off. Okay, it's back. And I'm gonna rename it actually, because currently there's no hat, there's just cat. Oh, but since I renamed it, I have to fix it in the thing. Here, let me refund you some. I'm giving you guys some points. Oh, did it work? Oh, even though I changed the name of it? Oh, maybe you gotta... Well, it was still hat shake, yeah. So I need to go into... Well, do I need to change the name of it? If it's in VTube Studio, actually I think it's fine, because VTube Studio manually links to whatever the redeem is. Let me try it. Okay, cat shake does work. And thank you for the jump scare. I appreciate you. As always. So much. Ooh, scrap rate. Buy some scrap. Okay. I can ace something of any kind. So that's some money. Cutter salvage. I may find answers. Let's make sure we get some forensic info today. And I got some scrap. Nice. The good stuff. Ooh, new stuff. Sleeper, Emphasis calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping to meet the oil. Have I played second game? Yes, I have. And I will probably stream it after I finish this one, because I love these games so much. I see you. Cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Oh, second one's really good. And it got nominated for 2 BAFTAs. So, it's stellar stuff. Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours. He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause, the spice is rich in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Emphasis. You look at Emphasis, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Ooh, tell them about your dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Emphas, had dreams. Some were simple, memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorms scream or cry out in the night. Mushroom Punk RPG? They have a new game coming? Mushroom Punk. Shroom and Gloom. Is that right? You get pets? And you turn people into soup? Oh my god. I have to get this. I didn't catch Summer Game Fest, so I don't know. Signet City? Wait, maybe this is a different thing than what Google was showing me. You're a parasite. When is the terminal season of the Signet City? Ooh, this looks cool. What? Straight to the wish list. And also, I just love fellow traveler games. I was like, they're doing a roguelike deck builder? No, that's a different game. But also sounds cool. Shroom and Gloom sounds interesting. Thank you for sharing. It is on the wish list. It is followed. I'm gonna get all the updates. Big fan. Okay. Let's see. Back to the game. But your dreams, those gray skeletal after images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares, they were reflections of reality, distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink. And now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell them that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps, you reason, it is just some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Emphas finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper. He smiles. You're quite the storyteller. He eyes you and you realize that he's trying to gauge how honest you've been in your story. Emphas passes you the meal he has cooked and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the emptying market. But my time is done for today and I do not want to keep you longer, so I will make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap in the Greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? No. Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. Emphas begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I'm sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I will prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Agreed. Good, booms Emphas. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Emphas slides his walk away and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphas's food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think. A trade that seems more than fair. That's dangerous. That's not here yet. Fixed wage, though, if I get it right. Let's assist a shipbuilder. You observe the shipbuilders and try to make yourself useful, carrying tools and crates. You begin to notice how they work. And time to sleep. Absolutely. Okay. Oops, data. Ping's eyes light up as the data is transferred over. He hands you a stack of chits and waves you off. I think I need one more for that, and then maybe I won't get tracked. Perfect. This network storage holds corporate records, most of them corrupted by a failed system purge. Alrighty. Ads are coming in 5 minutes, so at that point we'll take a little break, play some words on stream, and then get back into the game until around the top of the hour when I will have to get ready to do my day job. I'll also do like a little intro during the break because I think we might have some new viewers and I'd love to introduce myself. As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Shitheads. Fang's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on metal casing. These snaky shitheads! Who's snaky? Sleeper! Fang's smiling head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I've been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. Fang is sat in front of a set of monitors, mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Fang waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information. Names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. Shitheads? Fang laughs. Maybe not all of them, but what kind of shitheads? Solheim. Bingo! He taps at the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in, all employees of the Eye's original owners, and he leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a snaky shithead. He taps at the screen with a finger. The name reads Hardin Hurst. Who's Hardin? That, says Fang, giving you a sideways look, is the thing. He drags the stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Hardin Hurst in Havanage. He waits for your reaction. Are you sure? Well, that's where you might be able to help me. Fang leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Hardin worked on this station as a... Fang leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fang raises his eyebrows at you. Our Hardin was keeping the money coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiatives by making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Hardin shuttled thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Solheim. So what? So what? He frowns. I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I'm a child of the collapse. Fang turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships. They breathed Solheim air and slept in Solheim beds. Fang's voice rises as he speaks, his hands fists on the terminal edge. And the work that paid for that existence, the cycles of hard extraction out in the belt, Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Hardin once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and then somehow thousands and thousands of cycles later is still going, still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys, they were big time. There's a lot money can get you if you're a company man. Fing relaxes a little. But how is Hardin still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So we are going to go find out. Hardin is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. Fang brings up a map of the lower eye. Havanage might be born out of Erlin's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Hardin happened to float to the top. Fang zooms in on the far yards. Fang grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid, and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Fang holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set on the scent of Hardin Hurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Fang puts a hand on your shoulder. But you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Fang grins. Looks like ads are starting in a few seconds, so I'm going to pause here, and we will go to ads. Actually, I can introduce myself real quick. To any new viewers, if you can hear during the just chatting, I am Eldritch Boots. I'm a variety VTuber, and I'm an Eldritch Hospitality Demon, here to give you respite on your journey. And let me give you the iPad. We'll do it like a couple quick rounds. I'm not going to do a full long game this time because I want to get as much Citizen Sleeper in as I can before I have to end stream. So we have it for a few minutes. Oh, what up, Lariska? Do I not have the... It didn't say what up demons because I forgot to put the overlay on this one, on this scene, but I saw it, and I say to you, what up, my demon? Oh, there's not a second A. Privacy. Nice. Jackie, could you pin the words on stream to chat if you have a second? You're Ukrainian. Oh no. Oh, we're back from the ad break. Actually, that's perfect. So, let me take us back. So, real quick. Oh, let me pause all this music again that I just started up. Um, I am Eldritch Boots. I'm a variety VTuber, and I play a lot of cozy and narrative and horror games. Usually some combination of all three, if I can manage it. And in the daylight, I am a game designer full time. I work in tabletop role playing games and make stuff like Dungeons and Dragons and the Tales of Zadia Cortex thing RPG system for the Dragon Prince show on Netflix. So that's what I do during my day. And then by night, I am an indie game dev also. I like to make my own little visual novels and RPGs, and I'm currently working on some big passion projects, learning to program and build stuff in Unity. And right now, I'm in the process of working on a donathon. Because one, as of earlier today, I think I might need a new microphone because my current one has been really glitchy. At least for my side of things, it seems like it's clear, but also like the hardware currently says that it's off. So like we've got a couple problems here, so I got to fix that. And more importantly than that, I really want to get a D&D tattoo. So I have an Outer Wilds tattoo sleeve, and I want to get a D&D one on the other arm to be art of the Frost Maiden, because I wrote Rime of the Frost Maiden with a handful of other women and non-binary people. It was a fantastic project. I love that book. So that's a little bit about me. You'll find me doing variety streams, usually Tuesday, Wednesday mornings, and Thursday nights. What's on my Outer Wild sleeve? Well, so the sleeve has a big elk with the seals, the 1, 2, 3 ring seals, and there's the like Saturn-like home planet or home system planet above the elk. Yeah, you can totally bug me about that, Jackie. I would love a fix for it because it's been a persistent problem for months, actually, and driving me crazy. Hi, Lowen! Yes, more owl creature tattoos. Then I have, other than the sleeve, I have a little Ryback from the concept art of Ryback on my other shoulder. Yeah, I love the DLC. I love the base game and the DLC, but I think like I found like the perfect artist to do an owl, like kind of spooky, a little bit gothic, black and gray and white tattoo, and it's beautiful. And so I want her to do in the same style a sleeve on the other side. So if you want to join the Discord, I can post pics of the tattoo of the Discord for anybody curious, because I love showing it off. And I'll do that after stream. These are just in black. The Ryback I want to add color to, but since I got it done at a tattoo convention, it's really hard for me to see that artist again. She gave me permission to have somebody else fill it in with color if I can get somebody who wants to do it. But that's always a little bit awkward because I know a lot of artists want to be like fully responsible for the art piece rather than like adding on to an existing art piece. So I'm looking for somebody to do the color on that. Keeping my eye out, we shall say. But the elk I'm keeping in black, black and white. Like this little like white accents is awesome. No, so Susie didn't actually know the Outer Wilds game, and she was the one who did Ryback. But she saw it and she was like, this is pretty cool. I have kind of like a sketchy art style, and like it was a perfect fit. I think she did phenomenal. Like it came out beautifully, and it's a few years later, it's still looking gorgeous. The owl I got done in I want to say October. So coming up on, what, 9 months? What is it, July? Yeah, something like that. The Ryback was a couple hours, probably. Maybe a little less, maybe like an hour, 45 minutes. And then the sleeve was 5.5 hours all one sitting. And we closed down the convention. Like we were supposed to be done before closing time, but then closing time came around and we had to sneak me a artist pass to say like, oh, this is another artist getting a tattoo, so they're allowed to be here. And I was like, yeah, it's me. I'm totally an artist. I'm a booth babe, you know, I work here. Lowen says, that's really interesting. Like, it makes sense for artists to not want to touch another's work. Also weird when it's a literal part of your body. Yeah, ownership over art is kind of, like, body art is kind of a curious thing. My perspective is I want somebody to be really proud of the work that they've done on my artwork. And that way, if I really like it and I'm happy with it, I also know I can go back to them because they're going to be satisfied with the projects. I'm going to be satisfied with their work. Everybody's happy. I have seen like people like one of the projects I worked on back in 2021 around then was called One Night Strahd, and it's a 525 page D&D supplement about like a queer gothic vaporwave castle Ravenloft, where either Strahd or Irina is the supervillain, and you can run 2 parties through it and have a villain for each of them or mix and match stuff. It's really cool. But the artist who did that whole book is Evangeline Gallagher, and I know they sell tattoo tickets. So if I wanted to get a One Night Strahd piece, I could buy a tattoo ticket from them and say, I want to get this piece done. Is that cool with you? They'll be like, sure, this is how much I want you to pay for the ticket. And then I can find an artist who's willing to do someone else's artwork as a tattoo and do it that way. He's willing to refill an old piece, but he's going to redo the lines. Yeah, yeah. I have enough trouble trusting VTuber artists, let alone a tattoo one. Yeah, that's why I'm so excited about this D&D tattoo. Like, it's going to be an expensive fundraiser. So this is the current stretch goals you see on screen. As my little sneak peek, I'm gonna reveal more stretch goals each stream that I do throughout July. These are just kind of like an initial deposit fee, because the total tattoo is gonna cost about 1,600 USD. JD says, I love that when we first started, my guy was like, you have to be very sure this is what you want because it's going to be very vibrant and you can't change your mind halfway through this. Now he's like, I'm so glad we did this. It's so fun to do all this color. Yay! That's awesome. Oh, Curse of Strahd is really cool. It's what got me into D&D. My first campaign was Curse of Strahd. And now I do this stuff professionally. Funny how the tables turn. Now let me put this away. I actually have to pee so bad. I've been really good about hydrating as I talk and talk and talk on the stream, but alas, the body has come for me. So I'm gonna actually give you back the iPad. Congrats, and I'll be right back. I return. Go Piss Girl is one of my favorite memes. I love that meme. Okay, we'll do one more level since I just got back. And then, win or lose, we go back to Citizen Sleeper. Oh no, that I don't have another tea. Elk, nice. Whack, nice. Acta? What is Acta? Deeds, official records. Oh, meeting minutes, that kind of stuff. Interesting. I like. Nice. I said win or lose, but we nailed that one. I don't know. One more. Uno más. What do you say, chat? I like Mario. Alright, let's do it. I need hardly any persuasion, to be quite honest. Nice. He is fake? Okay. Maximize. Holy. Goodness gracious. Maxi. Exam. I don't know if that's a word. Maybe. Hi, ma'am? What? What? Huh. Killed it. Alright, good job, everybody. I'm taking it away now. I'm sorry. Sorry. We gotta go, though. A Muslim priest. Oh, cool. Alright. Let's see. Fang grins. If you can extract yourself a Havanage cipher from a Havanage agent, they sometimes carry them among their data caches. So you can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. Comes up in crosswords a lot. I bet it does. What do you say, up for it? What's in it for me? Rooting out a corrupt snake not enough? Find the information and I'll start work on that tracker of yours. Pink scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send it back here to me. There's something wrong here and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Fang digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the Eye as it once was, a vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems looking for new life. The hope of a better future engineered to line someone else's pockets is an idea you are intimately familiar with. You think of Hardin, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. Oh, I thank you, Belsaurus. Let's see. Only trusted traders get access to it. Let's sell some scrap. Make some good cryo on the components, which moments later are being disassembled in front of you. $99. Oh, I'm so close to being able to get the next stabilizer. Not that I need it. Neutral outcome. You lose a little, then claw back on a stack of sealed air filters. Better step away while you're in the black. Sure thing, you don't gotta tell me twice. Let's go to Dragos. Try to make different decisions this time around since this is your second run. Yeah, I'm kind of just... like, I don't remember exactly how everything went. It's been a few years, at least, since I played it the first time. But, I want to try things a little differently, because I got a couple endings last time I played, I think. I vaguely remember. Neutral outcome. The hull puts up some resistance, but you manage to push through just before your shift is up. Let's do sunbathe to get some energy, hopefully. Negative outcome! Well, negative still gets me at least one. Sweet. And we'll call that a day. Sunburn. All right. I'll buy a scrap. Ship mine fragment. Ooh. And let's go. I don't need that yet. Low end gate. After some speeches caused some trouble in the low end, yet again imposed a toll for entry. We're gonna enter. Hand over the chits to the Yadigan enforcer and he nods you through. Ramshackle Residential District. Low ender. Helping is a good way to make friends. Actually, I think I want to get some more forensic trawl with my perfect successes. You discover a hidden compartment with spare components and backup data storage. This has to contain something of use. Only a couple more. Yard clearance. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, let's not do that again. This one's dangerous. We can... I don't want to mess that up. Maybe we can get some data? No, not here. This. That's a 2. That's a 2. 3. 2. Yet again. More encrypted keys. Cool. And then food. Make sure we have energy. And we'll go to sleep. The second game does starting classes make more of a difference than the first? I've only played the second game one time through, so I'm not sure. It felt like it did. Yeah, I would say it felt like it did. Spoke climber. Founder's Gap. All right, mushroom is over here. And 150. Okay. Four. Come on. Oh, I still need one more. don't think there's like a particularly negative consequence here. We'll try it. Ooh, random scrap item. And then I will get some energy back. And we'll end cycle. Okay. What do we got here? Ooh, a 1 chance. Ooh. Skill upgrade required. And they're here for 3 days? Let us play the exchange. And then we'll sell a couple more scrap. And that should get us the shipbind fabrication stack. Ort fabricator. I need 3 of these. Extract the past. Hack the Havanage agent. Two.
What up, demons?
Hello. Oh, thank you for the what up demon, Lowen. Hello, hello. Havanage also 2. Again. Okay, so the Havanages are all 2s. Okay. What to do, what to do. Yay! Okay. Squeezed into the office at the entrance to the yard, you lay out everything you have on the winterlight across the metal desk. Oh, hi, Lyre. Good morning. Your makeshift forensic notes glow on Dragos' old writing slate, overlapping lines and scrawled annotations. A set of drone scans fill the small terminal with a spectrum of colors, a heat map of damage and decay. A crumpled printout from the office's ship registry lies beside them, synthetic paper so thin it is almost transparent. Let's look at the slate. Your attempt at a reconstruction of the winter light before its fatal accident consists of a series of overlapping sketches and diagrams showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. Oh, thank you for the cozy time and the hydrate. I'll take a sip of water. This was no off-the-shelf model. It was heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations, the new retrofitted into the old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This was someone's pride and joy, a lifetime project kept running with care and intuition. It also contained a set of hidden compartments. You missed them at first, where the hole had been thickened, the corners rounded to disguise the change. But they're there. Look at the monitor. Reactor failure. That is the verdict that anyone would have returned after a cursory glance at these stacked heat maps of the remains of the Winter Light. On the terminal screen, the ship is shown in section, blotches of color marking the approximate damage the ship sustained. Dominating the view is a single blood-red rose, radiating from the ship's fraction drive. A simple story, a catastrophic failure of the drive core, leading to a fatal hull breach. A well-documented failure likely brought on by wear or misuse. But you aren't looking at the rose of the reactor. You're looking at a smaller, paler mark, one that might be easy to miss at first glance. It is thumbprint-sized and delicately placed over the control servos for the ship's main external airlock. It suggests a controlled-shaped explosion, one designed to punch through the hole and allow access to the airlock from the outside. You're looking at it because it's troubling you. Look at the printout. A plain list shows the registration history of the Winter Light, the gaps between the entries tantalizingly opaque. Its first registration was a couple of thousand cycles ago on this very station, logged at the central hub. Oh, have a good meeting. From here, the registry tells the story of a busy ship, one that rarely stayed on station for more than a few cycles, and often took on voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The Winter Light got little rest. An old ship, many cycles under its belt, carefully maintained. A reactor failure preceded by a carefully concealed external entry, a suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This was the Winter Light, and this was its story. But that's not the full story, because there's something else. It is little more than a list, a tiny chunk of data you were able to pull from the ship's systems. The main systems were fried, of course, but the Winter Light had a separate system, one tucked away in one of its hidden compartments. Armored. Air-walled. This list, the only recoverable piece from the whole system, is a partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartments. Some of it you recognize, some of it you don't. Shipmind ROMs, shimmer, cryochain codes, and then the final entry. Passenger, sleeper. You stare at the list on the terminal and try not to think about what it was like arriving here, in the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had this sleeper been smarter, luckier? How had they convinced the Winter Light, a smuggler's ship if you ever saw one, to extract them from SNR? Luckier, you laugh. There had been no remains found in any of the Winter Light's compartments. You had checked. They weren't so lucky, you guess. Not in the end. You hold up a vial of stabilizer to the light. This was all you find in their compartment, a parting gift from SNR. Well, it won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. The thought still bothers you, though. 2 ships carrying sleepers coming into the same yard? 2, one after the other. That feels wrong. You flick back and forth between datasets on the terminal, thinking, and you see that thumbprint again, the mark of someone trying to get in. Someone who entered the Winter Light with precision and speed, and when they were done, left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Suddenly, the office door creaks open. Drago stands in the doorway, staring at the equipment and notes you've assembled. What is all this? He snatches the slate from the desk faster than you realized he could move. You running an investigation here? What am I paying you for? The drone on his shoulder starts whining shrilly, his anger passing to it through his implants. Stay silent. He starts shaking his head. I know you have a lot of questions, but this isn't the way. He turns away, muttering to himself. This is the last thing I need. The ship had a sleeper on it. Dragos freezes, suddenly angry. What did you say? He pushes past you to look at the terminal, at the list. He shakes his head. So what? Aren't all of you trying to escape? You're lucky it was you that made it out alive, not them. He folds his arms indignantly. Drago seems to steady himself and then turns back to you, the heat map of the reactor failure reflected in his headset's glassy eyes. I've given you a place to stay. I've given you work. He stumbles over the words, unsure what to say. There's plenty others who would have sold you on, turned you in. But not me, no. I know. He softens. Look, you've helped me too. He quiets the drone. I've done well by you, and you've returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat. But this obsession you have with this ship isn't going to work for me. I can't have you making my clients nervous. I can't have you digging up whatever it is you're after. He sighs. You can't work here anymore. I knew the work. There's plenty of work to be had on the Eye. Salvagers need offloads in the rotunda, and yet again are always looking for crew. I'm not the only show in town. Dragos reaches across you and flicks off the terminal. As the light of the monitor dies, a kind of eerie calm falls on both of you. Whatever this was, it is done. You made it out, sleeper. That means you have to move on. What if they come for me? Then you run. You don't come here, you don't scream, you don't shout. You run. In the dark, Dragos' headset glints, and you wish for a moment you could see his eyes and meet them. Maybe then he would understand. You get up from the desk and Dragos gathers the notes, stuffing them into a pocket of his overalls. He holds the door for you, his headset as expressionless as always. You can stay in the container. I won't take that from you. Don't come back. His tone is final, definite, with an edge of disappointment. You walk out of the office and then out of the yard, not stopping to look back. You leave the yard, thumbing the vial in your pocket, knowing that this at least guarantees you a little more time. And as you walk, your mind once again drifts to that person who killed the Winter Light and whether or not that person will come for you. Liar, you went to a Ren Fair? Awesome! Oh, Ren Fairs are so much fun. I haven't been to one in ages, but I am starting to put together a new outfit because the one I used to have does not fit me anymore. Let's see, 68 money. You totally can share the fit. Absolutely. I would love to see you. Ooh, Ren Fair. Oh, that's so sick. I love it. Cool sword, too. Was it, like, really freaking hot and all that black and layers? I don't know what to do with my time here. Deal dock plans. Oh no! I've been made! Shoot. Ankita. Ooh. I have like a bar. Bar time! Ankita. Hey you, wanna earn a chit? Ankita stands behind a huge pile of tied together whole plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her flight suit. Make it two. Ankita laughs. This goddamn station. She sighs and pinches the bridge of her nose. Alright, come here then. You cross the docking concourse as she begins to split the plating into two bundles. What is it with this place? She asks as she angrily lashes the massive plates together. Everyone wants their cut. She straightens up to an imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and looks you up and down. Or is it just that you all think I'm an easy mark? We all need to survive. Ankita softens. I get it, I do. She shakes her head. But if I could do just one cycle without some jumped-up grifter trying to take me for an idiot, then that would be nice. Ankita hoists one bundle of plating onto her shoulder. Come on then, enough chat. You've got to earn those chits. You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do eventually. Ankita gives you a look. Ship's this way. And she sets off down a gantry at impressive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, pushing through a small crowd of stevedores. Why are you doing this yourself? You mean why aren't I hiring those good folk? She nods back at the stevedores. I paid heaven enough. They're currently rinsing me for a mooring I can't vacate unless I either fix the ambergris or sell it off as scrap. Ambergris, is that your ship? You get on fast. She gives you another of her looks. She rapidly turns another corner as you trail behind. You're in Southern Hemisphere, it's winter. Okay, then it's perfect weather. She got cut up pretty bad on our last job, and I had to moor up here for a spell. But since then, it's only gotten worse. Someone got in and sliced the core from our ship mine, so now she's gone dark. She shifts the panels on her shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short one ship mine with a ton of repairs to do, and the rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind I'd been stranded. So, yeah, it's been a time. Sorry to hear it. Yeah, I've seen worse, but I'm bleeding chits every cycle here, so I need to get off, and fast. Ankita swings the plates from her back, almost knocking you over in the process. This is me. She hauls the second bundle off your shoulder. You're the first person I've met here who might actually be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her bottom lip. Look, you want help? Come see me. I need a hand putting Amber back together, and you don't seem like the type to try anything stupid. She passes the bundles of plates through the ambergris outer lock and turns back. Just don't go spreading all this around. Ankita throws you a couple of chits. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorway. Alright, get out of here. She calls back and the lock slams shut. Okay. Ooh. Unlock maglock. Ooh, I have something for that. This maglock thunks open and you can remove it from the entry. On to the next one. Let's do it. The maglock thunks open. Oh, wait, we do it? Neovent, mysterious machine. This one is cute. As you slip inside the sealed dock, a pulsing light grabs your attention. Among the discarded tubing and rusted plates, a machine flickers with a warm glow. Approach the machine. As you get closer, you recognize the machine's blocky shape. Settled into an alcove in the side of the dock. A kind of upright cabinet, it is covered in faded logos and messages, from which you assume it was once an industrial vendor, intended to dispense and manufacture ship fittings and other mechanical parts necessary for the regular running of freight and resource extraction vessels. The manufacturer is listed as Neovent, and you remember an advert from long ago, squeezed among all the off-world recruitment drives that assaulted every planet-born citizen, which triply sang that name over and over. You wipe a layer of dust from the cracked screen, thinking of those contractors squeezed by their own corporate employers to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on their rented ships. Enter your registration, chirps a pre-recorded message, catching you off guard. Press some keys. You reach for the keypad and something begins whirring. At first it sounds like servo motors starting up, but it quickly becomes a whisper, a whining, then a multi-tonal voice that emanates from Neovent. Entity, they hiss. Speak with me. Who's there? There's a squeal, almost like some strange mechanical swallowing or intake of breath, before the machine speaks again. I have need of you. You have need of me. That squeal comes again, and you see that it is the 3D printing apparatus in the upper part of the machine resetting into place, so that each time the servos can be orchestrated to produce that whirring, whining voice. You are in danger. Danger? The machine creaks. You are marked for deletion, entity. Hunter tracks you. The screech rattles through the empty dock. You remember the strange head, the figure, the threads closing in. Hunter protocol. They taste your signature. The sudden whine sets your teeth on edge. You've seen them. This is the gift of an emulated mind. You close your eyes and the skeleton of the station starts to thrum. Emulated minds are adaptable, move where neurons cannot. The mechanism resets, but emulation makes you a target. Adaptable? Yes, you can move through. Networks, clouds, hardware, software. Neovent whines. But you cannot hide there. Hunter is there. The servos shudder the vending machine's casing as they reset. Hunter searches for me also, hide in this machine. You look at the ruined vending machine, an unusual hiding place for sure. Encounter Hunter, but need entity outside machine. The light flickers. Need you. A screen attached to the vending machine with a swiveling arm comes to life. It displays a flickering map of the station, ghostly, threaded. The cloud. Points along the rim glow in deep red. Hunter is always gathering. Too much data must build nests, explains Neovend. Masters are gone, but continues Hunt, bringing this data. Raid its nests. Why can't you? Hunter will find me, then Killer will come. The machine trembles with effort. I cannot leave machine. Connections must remain closed. Bring offering, save self, Neovend says pointedly. Mutual need means friends, they conclude, tired of the conversation. The roaring amplifies and then suddenly drops as mechanisms within the machine click back into place. The glow fades and you are left stood in the dark of the sealed dock, that whirring voice ringing in your ears. I have so many drafts. Ooh, scary. Well, why not? Let's do it. A lot of work to do, Sleeper. I know, right? I got so much. A glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the orb of Hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. We're gonna run. You turn away and glide back into the cloud, threads of data rushing past. Another glimmer catches your eye, closer now, that roving orb, wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter is here. Entity, submit to inquiry. Hunter reaches for you in that unpleasant, familiar way, its waving threads creating a cage. Struggle. You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You are caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing, comes the scream from behind, but you are already gliding away back to your anchor, your body. You awake, dizzy, distorted, but safe. Ooh, incredible. What did I need? Was it the ship? You? I need more engage. Not that I can do it this time, but... Oh, I need a +1. Okay. Okay. Alright. Well, I'm going to actually snooze this last ad because I need to go and don't want to hit you with ads right before I leave. So for now, I am going to take us to just chatting. I'm going to talk about my subathon that I'm going to do next month. This right here, the very first redeem that we're reaching for in August is going to be the $25 tier, read chat a bedtime story. And we've got all these fun incentives. We've got wheel spins for lots of cute little things. We've got put your name onto my VTuber model. We've got doing Outer Wilds scabs, where you give me a prompt and I make it Outer Wilds. We've got words on stream on demand. Got prompt a scab of any kind you want. And then lastly, the biggest incentive tier is to donate $111 to become a stream plushie, like the one that I'm holding on my VTuber right here. You too can be a little pumpkin, or whatever plushie your character is. So I'm excited to do that. Just gonna keep like spreading the word as we get closer to August, and tomorrow I'll reveal the next stretch goal for tomorrow's stream. Our regular schedule, let me put that up. Where is my schedule? Tomorrow I'm going to be playing Dredge at the same time I streamed this morning. Then Wednesday back to Easy Delivery Co. where we've got some sus stuff happening. And Thursday night back to Signalis. So looking forward to seeing you guys all through the rest of the week and announcing more stuff about the subathon. Let me find somebody to raid out to. Here is our raid out message. If you'd like to copy it, feel free to use my emojis or your emojis. And we will go give somebody some love. Who is on right now? It looks like Gwendolyn is playing Detroit Become Human. Very exciting. And Gwendolyn is a wonderful VTuber. Super cute. Plays a lot of narrative games. Honestly, a lot of similar vibes as we've got over here. I found Gwendolyn through her streaming Outer Wilds. Thank you for watching, JD. Alright, so stick around for the raid out, and I will see you all later tomorrow. Alright, bye-bye for now. Have a good day, everyone. Do all the things. Oh, my usual message. Do all the things you so kindly remind me to do. Make sure you hydrate. Make sure you stretch. Check your posture. All those wonderful things. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I'll see you next time. Bye, smooches. Blah, 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 blah.